What's up, y'all? This is Tim Heinekel with The Library. Check us out on www.rapstation.com. Also, we're airing on Andy Don't Stop with Chuck D. This week, I had the opportunity to interview L.A. Sunshine of the Treacherous Three on his new book, L.A. Sunshine's Memoir, A True Story, The Real Account. Cop L.A. Sunshine's new book on truehiphopmemoirs.com via PayPal. L.A. Sunshine of Treacherous Three, thanks so much for joining us on at the Library with Tim Heinekel on Andy Don't Stop with Chuck D.
Yeah, that's me, man, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so I just want to get right into your book, L.A. Sunshine, A True Story, The Real Accounts. You start off right off the bat with this sexual experience you had as a 7-year-old as your babysitter watched.
Yeah.
You say this experience shaped how you dealt with trust, women, and intimate relationships for the rest of your life. Was this story for you as you were writing it? Like, how tough was it to share, and that knowing full well that I was going to go public?
Well, anybody that really knows me know I have no problem, expressing myself. I wear my, all of my feelings on my sleeves. Anybody that really knows me well knows that I ain't got no problem just, being very open-handed. And aside from that, it was just very therapeutic. Became once you started getting into writing. When I made up my mind to, embark on this journey, tell a story. I think it's important that everybody tells a story initially, first of all. But telling mine, I realized early on in the process that it would be better served if I just opened up fully and tell everything for myself. And that was the purpose of me doing it, and that's why it's so easy. Anybody that knows me knows I'm being open and candid. That comes relatively easy. But if there are details such as that were unbeknownst to just about anybody, but I had no problem sharing it.
And you talk about how, like I mentioned, you talked about how this was, this kind of shaped your life dealing with intimate, with trust, intimate relationships and stuff. So I was wondering, can you talk about a time as an adult where this kind of experience messed up like a great situation for you?
I mean, well, actually, I've always had a trust issue with women because of that, subconsciously, and I didn't realize it until much later on that was the cause of it. I had a major trust issue. I mean, it's hard for me to trust women in that regard, of course, because of some other relationships that I've had that, I've been through and I've had failed because of a multitude of, different circumstances. But collectively, I have a problem with trust in women in general.
And I want to branch out to, and this is not a relationship with a woman, but this is actually a relationship that you had with, a professional relationship you had with one of the original members of the Treacherous Three, Spoonie G. Can you just talk about that time where, there was that falling out? It's on page 73 of the book, but kind of wanted to know, can you just tell that story to the audience? What happened?
Well, I think you're referring to the time when, Spoonie would, Spoonie on more than one occasion would kind of left the group. Initially, we would, of course, the original members of the group was Spoonie G, Kumo D, and myself. And when Spoonie had the opportunity to go and make the record, I was just disappointed because that was an opportunity for us to make an impact or just make, put a print on this new merging, culture, this art form. And we were some of the, the higher, we were cut from the higher echelon at the time, even though it was very, very early in the game. And I thought we could have, made some steps or made some real moves because Spoonie put out Spoon and Rap right after Sugar Hill, and had we gone on and did some real lyrical damage that we're known for, I thought that was a golden opportunity for us to make some haste. And not only that, I also thought that this is a brotherhood. This is family. We don't do like that. If he had intentions on doing that, he should at least made us aware of it as opposed to just bringing it to the rehearsal spot. We was rehearsing at my DJ's house, and he came in and was like, yo, I got to surprise you guys, and he just put the record on and played boom, 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 boom. And, the record is hot and the record is a real good record, but I'm like, I didn't know how I was feeling. I didn't know how to feel. I was caught between emotions. I was happy for him, but at the same time, how could you backstab us like that? Because we're a group. If we're a group, we're supposed to do the record together. And, share the information and discuss it and see how we're going to do it. And he did that on more than one occasion. So that's what the problem I have. Well, it's my brother. I love him to death, man. But, I just think that should have been dealt with a different way.
And I want to actually go into one of the
the first songs that you guys did, the new rap language, on a record. But I when I first heard it, because I was just messing around and going back to listening to your music, I was actually extremely blown away by the whole song. Like
Okay.
I mean, just as I'm a little younger, so I didn't grow up. I mean, I didn't grow up listening in 1980, but but grew up more in the mid 80s to 90s. But when I first heard it, like every part of the song, I heard an artist that I grew up on. Like I heard Coogee rap and all that. I heard where speed rap came from. So I was like,
Right.
I was so I wanted someone to know, like, I would love for you just to talk about the song and how making of the song and like what was the inspiration behind it.
Well, that was one of our staples. Of course, again, back in the day, the early infancy stages of emergence of the game, we were known for pushing the bar. We were always heightening the bar, raising the bar. And it was something that Moby came up with, taking a dump actually, just coming up with speed rapping, and we all just fell in line with it. Actually, Mo and K, I mean, me and Mo D, we used to do them, back and forth together when we were doing them, throughout the parks and stuff. And then he was going to school with K. He did it Mo D did it in the lunchroom. And the next day, K came back and he had one. So, when K got down, we just became widely known for doing the speed rapping. And that was our staple. So when we had the opportunity to record, we was like, okay, now let's really hit him in the head. I mean, honestly, I think it was way before its time because, people were still beginning to just dabble in it. I mean, hip-hop was always party-friendly. I think the routine is party-friendly, but it didn't transfer as a record to be, it wasn't record-friendly per se. But lyrically, it was we raised the bar with that. But that was just our mainstay. That was our staple. I mean, it definitely raised notice of, okay, for us to come out the gate with that, for people that didn't know nothing about the Treacherous Three or Spoonie G and the Treacherous Three, it's like, wow, well, who's these guys?
We're speaking with LA Sunshine from Treacherous Three. I want to go back to the book. You really lay, I mean, like in the beginning of the interview, you really lay it all out on the book, and you kind of detail your drug use, your depression, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering, like, why now? Why did you decide to open up now?
Again, I think it's imperative that everybody tells their story because I think everybody's got a story to tell. But for me, it was a purging. It was totally therapeutic for me. I know I'm misunderstood, and I've always been, but I didn't do it for outward reasons. I did it for myself specifically, and I did it for me to help cleanse and purge myself. It wasn't like I was trying to all of a sudden divulge some information. I needed to release it. I needed to get it out of me so I can begin to deal with it.
Right.
Because I still deal with these issues to this day. I'm not ashamed to say that. But prior to me writing the book and, years gone by, I didn't know what I was dealing with. I just knew I was always depressed. Didn't give it to, a second thought or even try to break it down or analyze it or, anything like that. I had suicidal thoughts all my life. I tried to kill myself 3 times. These are things that I've lived with. But as I began to put the story down, it just felt like a release. It felt good. It was just purging and so energetic and rejuvenating that I was like, okay, now this is easier for me. And I didn't intend to do it let me tell my story so people can understand me. I did it so I can get the release out.
The name of the book is A True Story, The Real Accounts. LA Sunshine is the author. LA Sunshine, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
That was LA Sunshine of the Treacherous Three on The Library with Tim Einenkel. Cop LA Sunshine's new book on truehiphopmemoirs.com via PayPal. Check me out on Twitter. That's at kosher22. Also, you could check out extended versions of my interviews. If you go to iTunes, just type in The Library with Tim Einenkel. That's EINENKEL. Peace.
Never fighting, girls are rather never hiding, painting through it, love the story, cool.